here at the hours, so we'll get started. I love seeing everyone's citizen profiles in the Discord. All looking very fancy, very colorful. Um, Mitchie's already posted the agenda here, so we'll jump straight into it. Mitchie's going to kick us off with some incentives updates.
Cool. Thanks, Pablo. I think your mic is just a little bit muffled. Sounds like you're a little far away. I mean, I can still hear what you're saying, but FYI.
Got it. All right, I'll try to turn it up.
But yeah, thanks everyone for being here. I hope everyone had a great Halloween. We skipped last week's meeting, but ready to go again this week. The first thing I just wanted to give a brief announcement about is the incentives update. So the payments for ETH actually went out last week. You can check and verify that on Etherscan. I just want to let everyone know because this trips people up sometimes. But if you're looking under transactions on Etherscan and you're not seeing that payment, try clicking the button that says internal transactions, and you'll see the transaction there. I'm not sure why it shows up under there, but that's where you'll find it. And on that note as well, we are still handling the vMooney payouts. The plan we had, there was a bit of a bug. Well, not a bug, but something that we overlooked basically with part of the function of a call in the contract. I won't get into any of the details, but we have Jade working on a solution right now. I will let everyone know as soon as that's good to go. But yeah, as soon as we can, we're going to get those vMooney payments out to everyone, and I'll make sure it all goes out at the same time so that it's fair when it comes to actually voting on proposals. So that's our updates on that front. I think I had something else here on the agenda, and what was that? Oh yeah, just to follow up on recent proposals. So the proposals that we voted on, not last week, but the week before, did actually go through. We sent the 5 ETH payment over to Juicebox. So that has already been executed on. And the Deprize also was passed. And so that has been funded now as well. And yeah, this week we will have a few more proposals to vote on. Let's see, do we have Eiman here in the audience? See him there? Yeah, if we can get you up on stage, and Eiman's going to present to us a amendment, or sorry, I'm not sure what the right word
amendment.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Additional ask for funds. Subsequent proposal for increased funding. Does that sound right? I don't know.
That sounds right.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys' time. So, as you know, oftentimes when we talk about going to space and what the impact is, we want to make sure that there was some value in what we were doing. So it's not just a joyride where MoonDAO sent me to space, for 15 minutes and that was it. So as part of this, trying to make an impact or at least demonstrate giving back to the community, civil service, however you want to word it. I have been going around and set up different people to speak with. Previously, this had been things like podcasts, newsreels, etc. But I really want to give back, being that I'm the first Nashvilleian and also first Metro Public School, public high school graduate from Nashville to go to space, to those kids, to try to inspire them and motivate them to do these big things. So that being said, we had previously funded basically a docu-series where I have a videographer and a producer coming around with me to these different schools, which I can update during the next session if you want. But basically, we've gone to 3 schools so far. And as part of this, the producer, Jerome, who had spoken to this group maybe 2-3 weeks ago, said it would be a good idea for us to have a photographer come to the actual programs so that he can take some pictures that can be used for promotional items and things like that. At the end of the day, it'll be nice to have something that we can produce and say, look, MoonDAO sent me to space and I came back, and this is how I made an impact in my community, and this is how we're carrying that legacy forward. There is a possibility, as we've discussed, maybe monetizing this in the future, if we can find someone interested in actually picking up the docuseries. So this ask is for $1,000 to hire a photographer to come and actually take photo shoots as I'm doing these speaking engagements, so that we have kind of more promotional material, more material that can be used in the docuseries, etc. So that is what this is.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, I was looking at the proposal. I know basically like a lot of it is just a repeat of the same stuff that has basically already been voted on. I'm just wondering if like maybe we should cut that. Like I'm not sure if that's necessary. I guess maybe Pablo, I'll let you give the final word on that. But I think it's probably okay if this is just a a statement about, as long as we have a reference to the proposal that it's extending. I just don't want people to get confused and think they're voting on the same thing, the same
And
exact
it's a
thing
separate
again.
proposal, yeah. I had asked
Yeah.
how to do this, and we had discussed just adding an amendment with a $1,000 budget. But that's what I did. But I'm happy to put it in a different way, as you guys like.
No, I think it's fine as is.
Okay.
So basically, the ask is for $1,000 for a photographer to come to increase kind of the promotional ability of this and the materials.
Cool. Okay. Well, I don't think there's. I mean, I don't have a lot of questions. I'll post a link here in the chat for
Looks
all
like
of our project leads.
Looks like Phil has a question. I'm gonna put him up here.
Thank you. Yeah. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you, Phil.
Yeah. How did you come at the budget request? Did you get quotes from any photographers?
Yeah, so Jerome has someone he works with, and it is $150 an hour. So his thought is, if he comes to a couple of these events, it could be up to $1,000. But that's basically the quote. It won't be, we obviously, if we can spend less, we'll spend less. It won't be more than this. But yeah, $150 an hour is the quote.
Thanks.
No, thank you, Phil.
Cool. Any other questions or thoughts from people? If not, we can just keep moving forward.
Yeah, I posted a link to the vote, the temp check. So if we can get all our project leads to vote on that, and this is approved, then we'll move forward on Snapshot later this evening. And actually, we just need one more, it seems.
I don't know if I should be voting on the temperature check. Would it?
You can, yeah.
Okay, where's the link?
Senator,
There it
I
is.
was just gonna tag Senator's the project lead for this.
I don't think it matters now anyway, Eiman.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, it's passed. So it'll be going up on Snapshot later. Cool. Okay, well, short and sweet. I guess we can move on to the next item on the agenda here, which is a proposal from Phil. We already got Phil up here on stage, so I'll let him take it away.
Hey, thanks. One sec while I prep. Sorry, I'm trying to get the screen going, and it's not. Would somebody be able to share?
Pablo seems he's got it.
We lost Phil.
Uh-oh. He's in the audience. I'll bring him back up.
Hey, sorry. Discord decided that right now is the best time to update. Yeah, thanks for sharing for me. So I have a proposal that includes 3 ETH of funds to support the development of a prototype atomic clock precision time card for space applications. So I've spoken about this before in the open floor, but we have a team from the Rochester Institute of Technology doing a year-long project to make a prototype time card based on the open time card from the Open Compute project. They just finished up their initial designs and made a bill of materials, and they're coming up short in terms of budget. So Open Lunar Foundation has already sponsored the project with $10,000. Half of that has been going to the program, the senior design program that allows students to work with industry, and the RIT resources. So they have about $4,000 of budget to spend on parts. The one atomic clock that is the best candidate for their board design is just over $5,000 for just the oscillator. So if you leave this atomic clock out of the bill of materials, the budget closes, but the budget does not close if they try to procure this. So this proposal is requesting funds from MoonDAO to purchase an SA45 chip scale atomic clock from one of the official microchip vendors, and gift it to the team to use in their project. The project also includes some additional funds for to compensate me and Ashley for supporting the project. We have bi-weekly meetings with the team, and I'm in the Slack, and we're answering emails as technical advisors and also project advisors. So the majority of the funds requested here are for that specific part, and the remainder is flex in case the price changes between now, which was quoted at $5,300, and when this passes, if it passes. And then the remainder would go to me and Ashley to basically act as MoonDAO, continuing to sponsor our contributions there. I see there's a question for syncing to a clock. Wouldn't you need 2 clocks versus just one? So the scope of the project that RIT is working on, and I have materials here linked in the Discord. I wasn't sure how to link like PDFs or include PDFs in the proposal, but the scope of the project is to make a variant of the atomic clock that is open source, and modify it or create a variant that would work in space and is the right form factor to fit on a CubeSat. This project, as it's scoped, does not include actually flying this thing yet. That would be in a follow-on project. Right now, the timeline is around May is when these students are expected to show off their demo and test it in terms of performance. So that's where the current scope of this project ends, would be a functional prototype that is tested in terms of how well it works, or if it meets the requirements that would be necessary for this application. Does that answer your question, Pablo? Is there more info on the team handling design and such? FPGA dev on the team? Yes. So there is, yes. In the Discord, again, I have these materials in PDFs, but I didn't know how to attach them to the proposal. So I can grab those from the Discord thread. To sum up, there are 6 students that are all 4th or 5th years at Rochester Institute of Technology. There's 1 mechanical engineer, or sorry. So there's definitely 1 computer engineer. Computer engineering as a major at RIT includes embedded software like FPGAs. There are 2 or 3, sorry, students from memory here, electrical engineering students, and then a few mechanical engineering students. So RIT has assembled this team of students to satisfy all the needs of the project, including FPGA dev, board dev, firmware, software for testing and analysis, and then also instrumentation and test. I want to build a 3 media. I want to build a CubeSat so bad. Me too, man. Me too. That's hopefully where this would go, is like once we test it and have like a prototype ready, then we could start thinking about actually putting it on a rocket or putting it on a satellite. Do they have a specific vendor to put solder down on that part? Seems like it will be very sensitive. The atomic clock, the part that's being purchased here, or the proposal, what the proposal covers, the SA45, is the oscillator itself is encased in its own little package, and it has leads or interfaces that would be used to connect to the circuit board. So it's closer to there won't be hand soldering of like pins out of the CPU, for example. The students are going to have identified a bill of materials of all the parts that they want and need, and then would have a fab shop. Right now, they're looking at PCBWay to run the parts and probably assemble it as well. But I'm not sure if they're going to pay PCBWay to do the surface mounting or if they're going to do it by hand. How would MoonDAO potentially benefit? This project itself is a guinea pig for a grander vision of having universities compete in a sort of competition, where the grand vision would be to have MoonDAO host a Deprize for multiple universities to develop specifically what we have in mind right now. The first idea we have universities do a collaborative competition. So it's different university programs would compete in sort of like an X Prize or a CubeSat Launch Initiative program, hosted by MoonDAO, conducted through Deprize, where the winners would be decided as the first 2 teams to demonstrate that they are interoperable in space. And so as a way to demonstrate interoperability is to sync atomic clocks. So having a baseline for atomic clocks to actually like carry this out instead of having everyone start from scratch is this project, which aims to prototype it, get that first step out of the way, and open source everything. So in addition to the open reference for a terrestrial data center atomic clock, all of these, this competition would have a root in an open source project for a space atomic clock for space applications that is viable for a small satellite. I think also this is a great candidate to dog food, a sort of MoonDAO sponsored test shop or test house, common in industry for like a company that's building a payload, building a satellite bus ready to launch, to send it to a shop to have it, make sure it's tested for vibe, thermal, vacuum, electromagnetic interference, radio interference, and so on, radiation even, for qualifications. And normally that's like, a couple, couple tens of thousands of dollars to have an engineering team, white glove, integrated, like test the whole integrated satellite. I think that MoonDAO right now is positioned in a way to test probably on the component level, different parts for how good they are performance-wise, or test them against the specifications for spacecraft, like at the maker space that we have. And so this would be an amazing opportunity to dog food that testing capability with a project that is destined for space and also built in-house. Are you and Ashley doing these key results, or is the student team? Let's see. Key results are order within 1 week, integration plan documented, 2 weeks of receipt, initial prototype testing completed, and clock drift validated. The RIT team will be conducting or designing the integration plan, building the prototype, and testing it. Me and Ashley are officially the customers of this project, with the RIT program seeing us as the customers and the recipients of these integration plans. We are included in all of their design reviews, and RIT requires our sign off for them to buy anything. So basically, Ashley and I, our key results would be presenting the results that the RIT team gives us to the DAO. And then there are a few of these actions like ordering and ordering the part. That would be me. Validating that the drift is what we want it to be, and things that would be me supplying the DAO with the materials that the RIT team generates. Could we onboard the team and have them be part of the project? Yeah, of course. We can set up something separate. That I just want to say, like, this is kind of probably people's first introduction into this project. So the proposal itself is meant to, like, the temperature check that I'm requesting here is some official, monetary sponsorship for the project, in terms of supporting me and Ashley, and then buying the part. So I can follow up with, I'll share in a more public place than the ideation forum post. The stuff we presented, this project idea, the grand vision at IAC, and there's quite a bit of planning materials and analysis that the team has already done. How will the drift be validated? Right now, that's as far as the test setup and the integration with a test rig is to be designed. The team so far has designed they've got block diagrams and simulation in Simulink, and also they've run the numbers in some of their modeling and have the higher level designs, and the platform spec'd out. So they have a system on chip, they have an FPGA, they have a microprocessor. They've decided on the protocols that their board would use to communicate with a hypothetical satellite. But they haven't started building these things yet. This morning, we just had a meeting with them, and I took an action down to run their analysis by Ahmad Bayagawi, who's the mastermind behind the open time card at Meta. And I'll keep in touch with him and seek advice. But there is testing equipment, and there are standard procedures, like specifications to follow for characterizing the performance of a clock. We'd love to see the design. Yes, that's and will this be open source? Yes. One of the conditions for working with RIT, me and Ashley made, and with Open Lunar, was that the result would be open sourced in terms of hardware designs and software designs. This is non-standard for the RIT senior design program. Normally, the students are given the opportunity to own the intellectual property they create, and all the students that we're working with have agreed to open source the results. Thumbs up. Sounds good. Yeah, I've been spending a lot of time on this. Like I said, me and Ashley went to IAC for this idea, and basically, using on behalf of MoonDAO. It just hasn't been an official project in terms of money, I guess. But if anyone has questions or wants to see the stuff that the students have made so far, I will share for sure. I could share in general. If we want to make a channel for this, that'd be great too. And I'll post in the progress channel. One last thing, Jiggly Jans. Unfortunately, the students have asked if they could use Altium instead of KiCad, but mostly because that's what the school trains them to use, and they have student licenses. So they would have to learn KiCad, which, in my opinion, yeah, it's the same reason they're using MATLAB for their simulation and analysis tools. But the code that they're using and the Gerber files and the bill of materials to make the hardware are universally acceptable and universally accessible and an open protocol. I have grand plans for the testing as well, like the how MoonDAO can be the Internet Space Program test shop to half-baked idea with some folks that I met at the Foresight Institute workshop. So awesome. I see it's passed for a temperature check, and that's great. Would this go this?
Up for vote in a few hours later this evening.
Great. So I'll take an action here. In addition to the vote, to share the materials that have been done so far, and I'll invite the team to join the Discord at the very least. Maybe spend some of their budget to sponsor their citizenship. And I'm not sure what RIT would want to do if they want to make I don't think they would want to be in the network per se, but maybe we'll make is there a way to make a project? I mean, they'd be in the project, right? I'm sorry, I'm rambling about how this would integrate with the network. But my actions are to, share the materials so far and invite the team.
When you were saying, I'm sorry, that you were talking about potentially like adding a team for this team in the Space Acceleration Network.
Yeah, we can follow up later, maybe revisit in Roundtable. I'm not sure how a team would work that's not necessarily an organization, but just a collection of citizens working together on a project. So if you all could help me set that up, that'd be great.
Cool. Yeah, we got a comment here from Pablo. Saying could be a good onboarding mechanism. Very nice. Well, congrats, Phil. It's passed. If we've got, it looks like we might be getting another question from Justin though. Oh,
sounds good. Thanks, Justin. Yeah, it's fun actually building hardware. So we've got the makerspace. We've sent people to space. We're doing everything out of order, Now we're finally getting to build hardware.
Yeah, this will be a first for MoonDAO. I don't think we've ever had any, direct like hardware projects in this way. I mean, we have the makerspace, but that's not, exactly the same.
Right. It's just thinking out. It's all right to think out loud here. I'm not sure if there's anything else on the agenda.
No, we have nothing else on the agenda. We have the open floor. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Take it away.
one idea that hasn't really completely materialized, or I haven't thought everything through yet. But this prototype, and building hardware like this, I think MoonDAO is really well positioned to be the on the testing side of things. Like, instead of maybe selling hardware or something like that, but testing and validating, and like if someone sends their thing to test against our open criteria, have an open test plan, build our own testing hardware or whatever, but allow people to send us their hardware and test it, or their design and test it, and then give it the MoonDAO stamp of approval, like, hey, MoonDAO tested this against their lunar specs and it worked. I think MoonDAO's in a really good position to do that. Maybe it would sell that service on the marketplace. On a more tangible front, and I think more realistic with less work in between, could be to partner with a manufacturer that makes these time cards. For example, TimeBeat, or there's the time card is also on MakerFab, where the Open Compute project, like, they open source the designs, but they're getting a cut from the sales of a company that's building it and doing the whole production thing, so you can just buy off the shelf instead of having to build it yourself. So like having a MoonDAO flavored card as the space grade time card, or space grade atomic clock, and selling it on a storefront with, like, alongside all of the other data center atomic clocks, would be sick. And so I don't know the business aspects of that or all the details, but I see that as a real viable option to bring some revenue.
Well, yeah, it sounds like something worth exploring. Also, something that has another potential use case for the Space Acceleration Network, the marketplace.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Well, we don't have any other projects on the agenda, but normally we do just do a short round table. So I'd like to kick that off. We'll start with Brian, and we'll give the update on New Worlds, which I guess this will probably be the last one. We won't need to ask you again next week since the event is over. But Ryan, I'll let you talk about that.
I guess I'll give some broad terms. I guess we had a pretty good crew go out there, about at least 10 people from MoonDAO, as well as some other kind of like affiliated entities in the network, like Space for Humanity was out there, had a presence, did publish. Well, Pablo spoke twice during the conference. Eiman once published one of the talks that Pablo gave, the like 20-minute enterprise update, available on YouTube and Twitter. Definitely worth checking out. Good talk that covers kind of the history of MoonDAO, where we are presently, and some plans for the future. So check that out. But I really should hand it over to, I don't know, Mitchie or Pablo, or one of you guys want to talk about the underground experience, since I wasn't able to make it out there in person.
How's my audio? Am I still very quiet?
No, you're plenty loud now. Maybe even too loud.
Too loud? All right. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll speak a little bit about the New Worlds conference. The response was great. We had a bunch of people. I think it was probably the biggest opportunity we've had thus far to really take the main stage and speak directly to a bunch of people within the space community, and the response was really good. I think that we've established ourselves as an organization that gets shit done, that actually follows through with what it says it's going to do, and now we're raising the stakes with our ambition. So I think that we got a lot of really good eyes on MoonDAO, and I recommend that you guys check out the the talk because it gives some pretty good context about like future plans and kind of roadmap and how we want to establish a lunar challenge. So that's kind of been our mainline work through the Deprize, which is happening right now. And yeah, I think there's a big opportunity here to raise a lot of funds to be able to really push the frontier when it comes to many companies working together and collaborating to create a sustained human presence on the moon. So I think that would be a huge impact for the organization, and lots of conversations are happening beyond MoonDAO, other organizations and other groups that kind of see this as a really awesome vision. And so, yeah, I think that we'll be seeing some exciting stuff in the next few months.
Yeah, I just want to add on to that. I think, and I'm not sure if it was Rick or Leah or who set up the schedule, but it was pretty perfect for MoonDAO. We had Pablo up there giving an introduction to like what MoonDAO is early on the first day, not too early while people were still rolling in, but you know, a good sized audience there for that. We had MoonDAO, our logo, on almost all the slides, which was good too. And then on the last day, I felt like a common theme throughout a lot of the talks was space as a means for economic development, and not just for like science and exploration, but actually like uh, for resources. And after a lot of those discussions happened, we had Pablo up there a second time, again talking about MoonDAO, and I felt like it was just kind of the perfect cap on all of that because this question, this theme had been presented over and over again all day, and then MoonDAO was kind of presented as like not like directly like the solution, but it did show that we're making progress, that we're experimenting on that front, and um, creating a lot of potential with in the blockchain crypto space. So I was really impressed by that. I think that they yeah managed to schedule really well. The Space Cowboy Ball was also really awesome. Um, it was just really fun. We met with some really interesting people there too. I get to meet Ignacio, who's in our community. He's awesome, even more awesome in real life than he was in the, just in our conversations in Discord here. Yeah, it was a really incredible time. I'm hoping to reach out to some of those people again here very soon, and yeah, I'm excited to go back again next year. I think it was a big win. But cool. I guess we can move on to the next item on the agenda for the roundtable. That would be second astronaut support. Three Media is asking how many tapings in total. Yeah, short attention spans. Awesome. Cool. Cool. Okay. Well, I guess that covers both second astronaut support and the documentary. There, I feel like those are kind of both very aligned. Anyway, they're kind of merging together a bit, but that's okay. That's good. Cool. Well, last on the roundtable updates is the Deprize, which is finally after so long on our agenda. So I'll let Pablo take it away.
Hey everyone. Yeah, so we kicked off the development of the Deprize this week. We're just kind of getting organized, but already making some pretty good progress. So we've hooked up they're called RevNets, so it's the next version of the Juicebox protocol. And that's what we're going to be leveraging for the prize alongside the kind of system that we've developed via the retroactive rewards, where we have the community's input on the routing of funds within the organization. So yeah, a lot of good momentum happening there. Another main objective of the proposal is to continue with the improvements of the Space Acceleration Network, and that's being led by Ryan. So yeah, lots of good stuff happening there. There's a PR coming through now where you can actually see where every citizen is on the network map. Ryan was sharing a good screenshot of that earlier. So you'll see that live on the MoonDAO website soon. Yeah, and then we're also moving forward with automations with our retroactive rewards, and so Jade is working on some cool stuff there to make it a lot easier for Michi on operations when it comes to releasing voting power to people that are contributing to MoonDAO. So that's really good. It's all kind of part of this foundation for the Deprize, and yeah, all of these threads are really coming together, and yeah, I think that we're going to be shipping a lot of code in the next few weeks. So really excited.
I have a question for you, Pablo. I asked this before, but I can't. A few weeks ago, but I can't quite remember. Are there, I guess, elevator pitches or something that I can use to explain the purpose and premise of Deprize so that there are folks ready to use it when you're ready to ship?
No, that the communicating the prize isn't a priority for us right now since we're kind of deep in development, and it'll likely change a lot as we're implementing it. So we're not really focused on like doing anything public facing when it comes to the actual Deprize itself.
Is it too soon to be promoting it among my network as an option?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
I mentioned it briefly to some people at New Worlds, but just framed it as like we're working on ways to facilitate collaborative competition. But I didn't really go any deeper than that for most people. It's kind of hard also when you're in person and you're in a large crowd and everyone's talking. But yeah, very excited about Deprize. Finally, we've been talking about it for a long time, and it feels really good that we're hitting the ground running and already making good progress. I posted a link also to RevNets. If anyone's interested in learning about RevNets, I posted a link in the chat. I recommend this blog. I think you can find a link to the white paper, but they call it the yellow paper, which is funny. That's in there somewhere. And yeah, it's a good read. I recommend it for anyone who's interested in that type of stuff. And yeah, that would be the end of our round table. If no one has any questions, I guess now it's just open floor. So if anyone up here on stage or anyone in the audience wants to raise their hand, come up here or just post something in the chat. I see Jiggly Jams has posted another link for RevNets here as well. Oh, I think you cut off right at the end there, Amon, but I think we get the message. And hi, Amanda, welcome. We got Fraz up here on stage, so I'll let them take it away as well.
Hello? There we go.
Whoa.
All right. Cool. Yeah. So just an update from the MoonDAO makerspace over here in Vitalia. We got an air compressor now, so we can use this pressure chamber for like resin work, and that sort of stuff. So that's that'll be fun to play with, and also for like injection molding, so mold making and that sort of thing. And yeah, Eric Mickey is actually going to be working with us over here in the makerspace. He was here a few months ago for our summit the Human Augmentation Summit that we hosted in Vitalia, and he's interested in the space and he has experience running makerspaces before, so his involvement will be like invaluable in the future. Like, we can't wait to have him back out here again to help us out for the next Vitalia, which is going to be coming up in January next year. And we're going to have like a segment of programming in Vitalia that we're going to be in charge of. And we're also going to make some of that programming like very like space-based and bring in some people from MoonDAO.
I'd love to share some of the ideas I was having about building up some like test infrastructure
Yeah.
for space stuff. I asked in the chat where to talk about that. I'll message you in the co-working channel if that sounds good.
Yeah.
Great. And I'll try to. I had this idea. It wasn't completely mine. It was split between me and another colleague of mine. So I'll try to get them to join as well. But yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Are you in the process? Like, can you share some of the latest things that you've made?
So we so in terms of like the makerspace stuff, we've printed out like this like robotic hand. So there's this like 3D printed robot project, and we were looking at different models for like prosthetics and that sort of thing. We printed out like this this 3D printed like arm that's like part of this robot. And then we've also just been working on like 3D printed molds and that sort of thing, and that's related to our work with for Symbiont Labs, like doing implants and stuff. So making molds for our magnet implants, that sort of thing, is what we've been doing a lot of lately.
Awesome. Share pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, let me pull a couple up.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and then I know we posted about the MoonDAO, like the rocketry day that we had here. Or I think Jason might have mentioned it in a previous meeting, but yeah, that was like the last big like event we had, and that was good. So yeah, there's been like a couple new people that have come by to Vitalia that we keep on like showing off the space, and we actually had our first like implant in our new like lab space we have here. It's in like in the building, so it's like shared. Some of it's Symbiont Labs, some of it's the makerspace. So yeah, so that was cool.
Can you tell us like more about the functionality? I'm just curious about the implant. What is it being used for?
The implant can be used for like 2FA and like is like a PGP key. You can also use it for like access control. So it has like an RFID and NFC like protocols on it, so you can use it as like a key card, to like get into a door, for instance. You can use it as like a key to your Tesla car, and to like put like your info on it, or like have like a link to a URL. I have my NFC chip I use as like my business card, for instance, and as a key card. So yeah.
Very cool. It looks like Jiggly's got a suggestion for you in the chat.
Yeah, they're working on a payment implant right now. Some of the engineers that we work with are working on trying to get that going, but it's just difficult for like a number of reasons. Like a lot of payment companies, the bigger ones, like they don't want to like give out their tech or like their protocols to make that possible, basically. So
That makes sense.
yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. It's always good hearing about the updates at Vitalia. We also got Amanda up here on stage, so I'd like to make sure she gets some time with the mic as well. So I want to pass this over to Amanda.
Hey, thanks, Mitchie, and good to see everyone. It was so wonderful to meet a lot of folks in real life at the launch and just really get to know all of you and also understand how the MoonDAO community is. I'm super excited to continue and learn more, and I can't wait to watch the talk that you did, or I guess that multiple folks had at New Worlds. So thanks for posting that link.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, it's good to see you in here. Good to see your profile picture as well. I like that. Very nice. And you're in our network now, right? The Space Acceleration Network.
Yes, yeah. It took many generations, but I just, you know what? I was like, yeah, I'll just stick to this one. It looks a lot less smiley than I would usually have. I promise I am a happy person in real life, but yeah, actually, Pablo, yours is very smiley. And yes, that's mine.
There we
Um,
go.
yeah, I do look intense. But you know what? It's I am focused. I'm locked in, wired
It
in.
really does. It looks like you're ready to step on that rocket and show whoever who's boss. You know, like you are the citizen. You know, you have to say it like.
I'm not here to fire out. I'm here to go to space. No, but and contribute to MoonDAO. There you go.
Very cool. Yeah, I also had to do quite a few. It kept trying to give me a really big, like, Vitalik forehead. I mean, I do have a big forehead, but it's not like massive like it kept trying to give me. Yeah.
Also, reading your bio, like so many people at IAC and my whole trip that I just went on was talking with people and having a normal conversation with normal people, and then they casually drop, you know, some part of their backstory that wasn't relevant to the conversation until like, oh, and blah blah blah, and you know, you're a Nobel Peace Prize nominee and Time Woman of the Year. Come on, that's awesome.
It's okay.
Great to have you.
Thank you for the hype. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I am. Well, actually, I'll just give a little background. My so I studied exoplanets. So I did my undergrad at Harvard with the Harvard Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics. Worked with Dimitar, Saslov, and then did my post at MIT. And I had a life event, so I became an activist. But now, after 10 years, actually, the first like foray back into STEM for me was with Eiman. We were classmates at this research institute. So yeah, and I actually remember that we were sitting around at a class, and I think you were like, "Who is going to go to space first?" Well, I'm just so grateful to be in community with you and with everyone here. So yeah. Well, I'm very excited. I think we're all super just excited that space is getting accessible.
Definitely. Cool. Well, we're at the hour mark. I mean, we can still go a bit longer if there's any questions or anyone in the audience wants to post anything in the chat, but I think this is probably a good place to end it. I think we had a lot of really great questions today too. So thanks everyone for being so engaged. Pablo, do you have unless you have anything else to add?
Yeah, well, yeah, I just want to welcome Amanda and also Eric. Yeah, it's awesome to have you guys here for our town hall. And I also just want to like quickly touch on, I guess, we went through like an election here, and I think things can be quite divisive when it comes to politics. But I just want to reiterate, we're all on team space, and we can have people and disagreements here on Earth, but it's really incredible that we have this like grand unifying narrative that a lot of people here share, and that I hope that politics never necessarily enters MoonDAO. Like we, because I think that there's so many things that can divide us. Just here and we're living through pretty crazy divisive times, but I just want to like really thank everyone here, because like we've had all kinds of disagreements about all kinds of things, but I really truly believe that the moon represents this like symbol in everyone's minds, like from every part of the world, and it's one of the few things that we can all rally behind despite our disagreements. So yeah.
I have something that reminded me of when I was in Europe. I went to Berlin and met up with a friend who does governance, and we were talking about MoonDAO. And one thing on his mind, and I said, "Hey, we should make a MoonDAO project for this." Is he has an idea for how to provide governments on the local level and then up the chain, but starting at the local level, the tools they need to have a real space policies, a plan for how to incorporate space into the actual governance process and get it on the list of priorities, starting from the actual constituents of that they govern. So it's just I wanted to tease that, I guess, to say that action is like MoonDAO is a great place for that, and I think we do have the tool today to have take action and to provide the government that on Earth the tools they need to really embody the visions and the opinions that we have as MoonDAO, as an internet native organization.
Definitely, yeah. We're all team space. All right, cool. Well, I think we can close up. Thank you, Mitchie, for helping gracefully navigate all the conversations, and thanks to everyone who presented a proposal and attended today. I think these town halls are getting more and more amazing every time, and it's great to see like new faces join us, and I think that the conversation is becoming more and more elevated as we like become more sophisticated as an organization. So really excited to see all of the developments that have been happening. So, and I love Titan's slogan here: "Get space done."
Yeah,
it's
that's
a good one.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Welcome to MoonDAO, a revolutionary governance model and mission-oriented community that's reshaping collaboration in the space industry. Our mission is to create a self-sustaining, self-governing settlement on the moon to act as a launch point into the cosmos. MoonDAO is governed like a nation, with its own economy, constitution, voting system, treasury, elections, and senate. But internet native, and so without the limitations of geography. In 2022, we sent our first member to space, showcasing our model's capacity for real-world impact. Now, we're implementing key solutions for global collaboration in the space industry. We offer a borderless, permissionless platform that enables everyday people to participate in the future of space development and exploration. Be part of our lunar legacy and join the MoonDAO movement today.